Okay, so I have the May 2nd edition of Raw. So means we're now 47 weeks away if my math is correct. At first I didn't know if they were going to mention the Osama bin Laden piece or not. And they did. You know, they went back to September 11th, September 13th when they did, which I think was the first like major sporting event or a piece of entertainment after September 11th. You know, they mentioned, I suppose what happened, you know, last night. Lily Garcia had to come back and did a phenomenal version of the Star Spangled Banner. You know, when I used to go to live events and she would do that, it sends chills up your spine, period. She does an amazing job on it. Then The Rock came down, because it was after all The Rock's birthday party today. And of course he made mention of getting Osama bin Laden, as well as leading the Pledge of Allegiance. I was surprised that many people actually still remembered it. You know, I know in some areas they don't do it anymore because of the phrase, you know, under God. But it was weird to hear, you know, pretty much the whole crowd actually know it word by word. It was a really amazing moment to see. Now, the sad thing with this week's Raw is since it focused so much on The Rock and his birthday, they didn't do that much in the way of match work, which is always kind of sad. Now, the parts with The Rock were actually really good. You know, when they had Santino, Hornswoggle, and the Great Khali come out as different, you know, Rock characters from movies. That was pretty good. It's always great seeing Ron Simmons come out and say "damn." I did think it did get kind of repetitive to see people say happy birthday to The Rock. I mean, I'm glad they didn't waste a lot of TV time with it, but it did just kind of seem kind of bizarre. The ending thing with McMahon and Rock was done beautifully well. You know, that I liked. I liked, you know, a little bit in the beginning, a little bit at the end, and some of the parts in the middle just seemed like they were going on for just too long. And plus, it was The Rock's birthday, but I also got presents today as well. I got some stuff made for myself at C2E2, so I'd like to thank Matt Wright for these. They look awesome. I can't wait to get my frames ready for them. So now I guess we'll get to the actual meat of the night, the actual wrestling itself. Maurice versus Kelly Kelly. Kelly Kelly looked undeniably rough. Awesome part, Karma came down. You know, having gone to a ton of Shimmer events, I am fairly well aware of what Kong can do. Kong is an amazingly impressive female athlete. I only wish one thing. They let her do the sit-down powerbomb. She does that move ridiculously well. Implant Buster I'm fine with, but man, if they would let her hit a sit-down powerbomb, oh yeah. Yeah, just great to see her come down. You know. And of course, after she more or less destroyed Maurice. So then you can have like a non-match. The match with Swagger and McIntyre. Somebody needs to tell McIntyre, you don't stand like that behind Swagger when he's doing push-ups. It looked kind of like the cover of one of those movies you have to go through the curtain to look at. And you know, their match against Kofi Kingston and Rey Mysterio, it was okay. I'm still trying to figure out who has beef with who. Did McIntyre and Kingston feud? Was there a huge feud between Swagger and Kingston or Swagger and Ray that I missed? It just seemed like it was a really bizarre tag match. Which of course the faces won, which then led to the mild attack on Alberto Del Rio. I really wanted to see R-Truth and Morrison. R-Truth as a heel is amazingly better than R-Truth as a face. Period. But it was a run and beat down. And then he hit pay dirt twice. So I was like, okay. So 3 matches down, 2 of them didn't really go anywhere. The match between Miz and Cena. Very solid. Good back and forth work. Liked it a lot. I'm still wondering though, whenever a heel hits like a cheap shot, like a foreign object, and then hits a finisher while the ref is down, has it ever really given a pinfall? I know if it's like a legal object, non-finisher, you're pretty apt to get the pin. But if it's legal object and finisher, it seems like you're not. They always seem to kick out. Then seeing Cena non-sell a briefcase attack and a finisher, and then hit his and have Miz kick out. I was like, all right, like Miz might win, which would make almost no sense to have had John Cena win to lose the belt in one day. And then have Miz score the pinfall with the title still laying next to him, and then have it be ruled out by DQ. I thought the ref had to actually see it. Are we using like Eddie Guerrero rules here? Where if you are seen holding the object, you didn't need to use it, but you lose by DQ. Okay. So keeping score at home, that's 4 matches. Only one had an actual clean victory. Mason Ryan versus Kane. I thought the Big Show was the guy who got transferred over to Raw. Unless Kane was a supplement, which I totally forgot then. But that one seemed entirely pointless. Yeah, it made Mason Ryan look amazing. Which they've needed to do since he looked like crap after he got destroyed by Orton. But it didn't really seem to make any sense, because again, it was a match that had a DQ. So, Maurice Kelly, run in. R-Truth Morrison, rundown. Tag match, actually had a victory. Miz Cena, DQ. 5 matches, only one actually had a pinfall that counted. You think that with being The Rock's birthday party, they would have put their best foot forward and have done some really amazing in-ring work to really show, you like The Rock, here's our new stars, and then try to build, the fan base from that. And they just didn't, which just seems odd, that you have that much momentum and you really want to capture it, but then you don't. But then it began with The Rock, ended with The Rock, and it was really good, Happy 39th birthday. You're 8 years older than I am, Rock, and you've accomplished probably an infinite amount more than I probably ever will. Always kind of sad. Unless in the course of 8 years I become a WWE championship. I become a champion. Don't think is going to happen. But, anyways, happy birthday, Rock. Congratulations on coming back. I'm hoping that when you say you're never leaving, stick around for quite some time. But I want to see you do one thing for me, Rock, between now and 47 weeks. I want to see you have a match. I want to see the Great One go one-on-one with almost anybody in an actual match. Maybe you'll take on Swagger. I don't know. You laid out Cole, maybe you'll take on Swagger. But can you do that for me, Rock? That is my birthday wish. I know I am like 6 months in advance when my birthday is. Closer to 7 because I'm in the middle of the month. Come on, Rock. You're 39. Flair is still wrestling and he's like 104. Get in the ring, lay the smackdown on somebody, get a 1, 2, 3. Do it for the people.